Hello, Pokemon trainers! Welcome to a Pokemon Sun and Moon kind of preview video. Today we're going to be talking about a brand new Pokemon in Pokemon Sun and Moon. We are just about 6 days off of Pokemon Sun and Moon releasing in the United States. I am very excited. We're going to be doing a lot of videos for Sun and Moon as far as gameplay, Pokemon battles, Pokemon analyses, and just general discussion about the new things, the new features in the game. So if you are interested in any of that, please go ahead and subscribe and leave a like on this video if you enjoy, but definitely subscribe for more Pokemon Sun and Moon gameplay and discussion. We're really excited. There's a lot of new things to talk about and a lot of new things to enjoy in this game. So if you haven't heard, some people have actually gotten their hands on Pokemon Sun and Moon. The copies, they were able to like hack into them or something, and exploit the data in some way so that they now know just about everything that happens in Sun and Moon as far as story, as far as Pokemon, as far as just every little intricate detail is online. And so I've been scouring some of the Smogon forums, looking for just little things that I'm interested in, and the Pokemon subreddit just for some spoilers. And I've been allowing myself to see kind of new Pokemon and their move pool, their stats, all of that competitive battling type of information. But I have been staying away from like the story points because I want to still go through the game and enjoy the game and the story and all of that for what it is. But I have seen some brand new Pokemon. I've seen just about every single new Pokemon in the game. And so of course, if you couldn't tell, this is going to be a spoiler video. So if you don't want this spoiled, then you should probably click away and watch this video at a later date. This is a brand new Pokemon that you've probably never heard of, and I'm going to announce it now, so spoiler alert. You've probably never heard of this Pokemon unless you've been following the leaks. This Pokemon is called Marsh Shadow, and it is a ghost and fighting type, and it appears at the end of the Pokédex, which means that it's very likely a legendary. It appears after Solgaleo and Lunala, which are the Sun and Moon box legendaries. It appears after them, which means, again, this is probably a legendary Pokemon. I'm not sure if it's like part of the trio of those three, or if it's an event legendary like Victini or Shaman or some of those. But whatever the case is, this Pokemon is very, very powerful. So we're going to look at its base stats, as well as its typing and its move pool, and its ability. It also gets a signature move, and we'll be talking about all of that. So Marshadow is a ghost and fighting type, which if you don't play a lot of Pokemon battling or you're not too keen on like type combinations, fighting and ghost is probably the best neutral coverage offensive type combination in the entire game. If you think about it, fighting is super effective against dark and steel and other types like that, whereas ghost cannot hit normal types, nor can it hit dark types really well. Normal is immune to ghost, and dark types resist ghost, right? So ghost can't really hurt those. However, fighting is super effective against both normal and dark. So that kind of, the two typings kind of combo really nicely with one another. Similarly, we have Fairy, which resists fighting, Flying resists fighting, Ghost is immune to fighting, and Ghost can hit Fairy and Flying for neutral damage, and Ghost is super effective against Ghost. So this Pokemon has great coverage. Its stats are amazing. Now, of course, this is a legendary Pokemon, so it's going to have very solid stats throughout. It has good bulk. It has 90 HP, 80 defense, and 90 special defense, which is just solid. That's not amazing, but it's not bad because its attack is 125, and its speed is also 125. So this Pokemon is very fast, and it hits really, really hard. And the reason that its defenses are seen as good is because normally when you have a Pokemon with a really high attack and a really high speed stat, their defenses are normally low so that it can balance out, right? It's a fast offensive Pokemon and it doesn't really take hits well. That's what they try to do to balance it out. This Pokemon, on the other hand, can take hits fairly well. Similarly, Fighting and Ghost are not terrible defensive typings. It's going to be very weak to Flying, it's going to be very weak to Ghost, it's going to be weak to Fairy, but it has a slew of interesting and unique resistances as well. And additionally, this is the first fighting and ghost type we have ever seen in the entire series of Pokemon. So that's also very exciting. This is something that I've been waiting for forever. So let's talk about its moves now. It has a signature move called Spectral Thief. And this move is 90 base power, 100% accuracy. It's a physical move and it's a ghost type move. So it complements Marshadow's high attack stat very, very well. So the user hides in the target's shadow and then steals the target's stat boosts and then attacks. So what this means is that Marshadow will steal the opponent's boost. So if the opposing Pokemon has boosted its attack, boosted its speed, anything like that, Marshadow will take all of those boosts and use them against the opponent. Now this sounds like it's like a 2-turn move, kind of like Skull Bash or Fly or something. That's the way it sounds in the description. I haven't seen this move in action, so I'm not 100% sure. If it is a 2-turn move, that is going to change things a lot. However, given that Steel no longer resists Ghost, Ghost is just a fantastic type these days. There are only 2 types in the game that don't care about Ghost. Normal is immune to Ghost, so it takes no damage, and Dark resists Ghost. Aside from those 2 types, everything else in the entire game either takes super effective damage or neutral damage from a Ghost type attack, which makes Ghost just one of the best offensive coverage types in the game. It's very, very good. So Marshadow actually also has the Technician ability. Technician boosts the power of moves that have a base power of 60 or less by 50%. So in other words, if you have a move like Shadow Sneak, which Marshadow gets, Shadow Sneak is normally a 40 base power move, and Technician will boost it to 60 base power. On top of that, because it's a stab move, because it's the same type attack bonus, because Marshadow is also a ghost type and this is a ghost type attack, it boosts it another 50%, which means that Marshadow's Shadow Sneak is essentially a 90 base power priority move, which makes it one of the most powerful priority moves in the game. That is nasty, that is insane, and with that good coverage, that is just very good. Some other very powerful and very useful moves that Marshadow gets. Marshadow also gets Shadow Punch, which also is boosted by Technician. It also gets the Elemental Punches, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, and Ice Punch, which rounds out the coverage even better. And it also gets Drain Punch. Drain Punch is a fantastic move as well because it can recover some of the health. Being a ghost type, Marshadow also gets defensive options such as Will-O-Wisp, that also doesn't sound amazing, but it's very good, right? Being able to burn things and having a high speed in addition to high offensive coverage makes this thing just such a well-rounded threat. And then finally, Marshadow does get Close Combat, which rounds out that really, really powerful fighting type coverage and fighting type stab perfectly well. And it gets Sucker Punch to top it all off, as if it wasn't fast enough, as if it didn't have enough priority. Marshadow is probably, I do think it's the best Pokemon in Sun and Moon. It's just the most well-rounded, and it just has so much going for it. I would not be surprised, talking in terms of kind of Smogon and Pokemon Showdown competitive battling, I would not be surprised if Marshadow is banned to Ubers at some point in the competitive scene, because it just has everything going for it. Sure, it has weaknesses, every Pokemon has weaknesses, but this thing is just so capable of doing so much for offensive teams that it would be hard to imagine it staying in OU. I mean, Greninja was banned in 6th gen because it had Protean and it had just really good coverage, and its stats weren't even as good as Marshadow's stats. So be on the lookout for Marshadow. Design-wise, it does strike me because this is like a really cute Pokemon. It looks really small, and it's got like a cute little ghostly face and ghostly body. So it looks like something that would evolve, or it looks like something that would be like a non-legendary Pokemon. But in fact, it appears that it is legendary, which is kind of strange, but we'll kind of see how that develops. So what do you think about Marshadow? What do you think about this Pokemon? How powerful do you think it is? We are 6 days away from Pokemon Sun and Moon coming out. Which game are you getting? I'll be doing more discussion videos coming up in the next few days. I hope to do one every single day leading up to Sun and Moon coming out. We'll see how that goes. I've been really busy with school and other things, so thank you for watching, and yeah, enjoy the last few days before you enter the Alola region. I'll talk to you all soon. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.